You made me feel like shit. You made me feel like a bad shit. Because I didn't want to be with you?
Yes.
What the if I want to see you, if I want to see you do better, if I want to see you do better, I don't give a I don't give a
How? That doesn't even make sense to me. All of a sudden you don't want to be with me.
Listen, if I felt betrayed, as in I felt like you gave up on me, I felt like you completely gave up on me, you completely gave up on the family, I no longer wanted you. I no longer wanted to be with you. I didn't feel that. Why the f am I gonna be with you?
I feel like if we're in a relationship and I'm going through something, then you should still be there for me.
And I was. You went to therapy, did you not? Did I not suggest you to go to therapy? Were you not in therapy and you were working on yourself and I was still doing videos, correct?
This is when girls get brought into it.
Exactly.
Because every time I was in therapy, all I was talking about is how you're disrespecting me with all these girls. What you did was not okay. I do feel betrayed. I do feel like you stepped out on our relationship, and I feel like you did something that was unforgivable. And how are we supposed to go back to that? I can get better and go back and work and want to do YouTube videos, but how do we go back from a personal betrayal where you're living all these different lives? How do we go back from that? No, I'm not done crying. What?
How you feel? Bro, my heart hurting, babe. What the fuck?
Do this.
My heart is hurting.
Whatever.
I swear to God.
Whatever.
It is. I swear to God.
You already made me cry before we even started filming. I'm like aggravated.
I was simply just telling her before the video started how much she means to me, you know, off camera. For the past 3 or so years, every aspect of our life has been on camera. Just about every single up, every single down, this entire roller coaster. And we've been in control. We've been able to control that roller coaster any way we wanted to turn. And you know, a few months ago, things for our relationship took a turn for the worse. There's a lot of problems and a lot of things going on behind the camera that you guys didn't see. It was only a matter of time before shit
hit the fan?
Shit hit the fan.
Really?
In this video, I'm not gonna try to justify that I'm right. I'm hoping that she's not gonna try to justify her side.
I came here with them. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Simply just want to not point fingers, but take accountability and responsibility for whatever roles and whatever actions took place in this relationship. She hasn't had the opportunity to talk on camera, so today I've been trying to get her, you know, to do this. I feel that it's only right that Jasmine gets to say her side, I get to reiterate my side, and we get to come to more of just an understanding, more of an understanding. Last night we actually had a conversation for the first time from these past 2 months about our relationship, about everything that went on, everything that was going right, and everything that went wrong. And I feel like that was the most healthiest conversation we've ever had.
In like years.
In years.
Like literally
and it was something that we needed. And before we brought it to the world, we needed to first deal with it with ourselves, but you know, there's a lot of healing and things that needed to be done and put in place before we could do so. So without further ado, I don't really want to talk too much.
I don't want to talk.
Let me just see this camera right quick. It be look good. Sorry.
You're still annoying. Where do I even start?
I don't even know.
I don't even know where to start right now.
I don't even know.
I didn't want to do this video. I didn't want to have a conversation. I just kind of wanted to avoid, not really pretend like what happened, but I felt like the only way for me to like deal to just avoid this all. And I've been so angry I've been so angry and hurt, and I just feel so betrayed and just like a million emotions. I feel like our problem started right after we got engaged. Things just weren't working right. I was just really focused on Ava, and I didn't really care to do anything but take care of Ava. Didn't have help. Like, I was 24/7 with that little girl. Ava. I kind of lost myself in being just a mom, and I didn't really care about working. I didn't care about Fredo that much. It sounds bad, but I didn't care about, like,
what's the reality of the situation?
I didn't care about anything but Ava. I didn't realize that's what was happening until yesterday when we were having the conversation. He was telling me that I
was just telling her, I felt like she lost sight of herself. I felt like she lost sight of our relationship. I felt like she lost sight of what we were building. At the time we were doing the 2Times family, we were going strong. Things were going great, taking vacation, great things happening. And all of a sudden, you know, Jasmine wanted to stop. And for me, I'm the type of person, I can't stop. I don't care how much success I've seen or what I see in my life, I just can't stop. I knew she had so much going on with motherhood and just herself and being secure with herself. This is why I don't want to say this, because I don't want to talk for you.
I know we're both like talking for each other.
Because you asked me.
No.
But I don't want to talk for her, but.
No, but I'll tell you if you're not saying the right thing.
Okay. But I could just see that she wasn't happy with herself.
I was great as a mom, fine as a mom, but every other aspect of life was just not okay.
It was abandoned.
It was abandoned. In those moments, I didn't think about it because I felt like my only priority was Ava. I was taking care of her. You weren't really taking care of her like I was. You were there, but she was my responsibility, and your responsibility in my eyes was to work.
To provide. We both were lost. I had my role of providing, and that's pretty much the only thing that I became focused on. And I was abandoning the other things inside of my life. I was abandoning Ava. Not that I wasn't there. I was physically there, but I wasn't mentally, and you weren't hands-on. I wasn't hands-on. And she, on the other hand, was abandoning the relationship and abandoning YouTube. So it was kind of flip-flop. And we both didn't realize that.
Until like yesterday?
Until last night. I felt like because she didn't want to do YouTube no more, she no longer wanted to provide for the family. She no longer wanted to be a part of this big empire that I built, you know.
What did you build?
You helped me build, 100%. And I'll never take credit for that.
I think you forget that sometimes.
I will never forget that. I will never forget. I'll never forget.
I'm for real.
I'm being for real too.
I'm still helping you.
And you still are.
Okay, thank you.
I'm happy. This is the Jasmine I want to see. The Jasmine that put me in my place and this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. Everyone knows when I started YouTube, I started with Pretty Boy Fredo. All of a sudden, I changed. And I changed completely for one reason.
Ava?
2 reasons. 2 reasons. You want to say the second one? You nigga. I wanted to show Jasmine that this was everything and more that I wanted forever. It's the moment I fucking met this girl.
Can you not?
I have to.
No, can you not?
From the moment that I met this girl, I just knew that I wanted a life with her. I knew that I wanted to build with her. When I finally got the opportunity to show her, I was all in. There was no turning back. And a lot of people on my channel could see the change. I changed. I was no longer that little boy that was sitting on the game cursing people out. I turned into a man. I wanted to do better. I wanted to show the world that I am better, that I can be a man. So I stopped being Pretty Boy Fredo and we started the 2Times family. In doing so, I felt like I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed my own success to build with her. And then once I seen that she no longer wanted to do that, it felt like a big stab in the back. I felt like, how could you do this to me? How could I sacrifice everything that I worked so hard for? I stopped uploading on Pretty Boy Fredo for months. I'm talking like 7, 8 months. Completely just stopped my channel completely. Just to start something new, start a whole new thing that we could have forever. I felt like that was the biggest stab in the back. I felt like at that moment, I just felt broken. I felt lost. I couldn't understand because I felt like I sacrificed so much the least you could do is sacrifice for your family as well. For her not wanting to do the same effort, it just hurt me. And it felt like a stab in the back even for our family.
I feel like in that moment, I wasn't thinking financially about our family. I was only thinking about taking care of Ava, and just like I neglected YouTube, you neglected, and you weren't hands-on with Ava. And
I wasn't. And that's how I say it. At that time, I can admit that I was there in my daughter's life, but I wasn't completely there.
So that's why I feel like my priority was Ava and her taking care of her on a day-to-day basis. And your priority was only YouTube. Yeah. And that's where the conflict was, because I wanted you to spend time with us off camera and really be more hands-on with her, and you were more like, well, we need to do this and need to do that because we needed to make a video. I wanted
more genuine.
I wanted it to be genuine. Even before, I would be like, I don't know if you're really buying me flowers for a video, or are you buying me flowers because you want to?
I can admit that, so you know, when you're in a YouTube couple relationship, it can get so confusing because you do start doing stuff just for the camera without even knowing. It's not even that you know that you're doing it for the camera, it just happens. I understood all that, but at the same time, it was like, I felt like we could not stop. And I felt like once she did that, I felt like we've been doing this for so long. It's like, how do I undo everything that we done built? I felt like now I had to start from scratch. I had to go back to my main channel and try to figure out everything all over again. And of course that caused more problems, because then I started acting out of character. I started inviting girls inside my videos. You know, I wasn't messing with these girls at that time or anything. I was just inviting in my videos. I was doing things that was very uncharacteristic of my character. I did not care to look at them. I didn't care to have any type of relationship.
But it was still disrespectful.
It was disrespectful. It was so 1,000,000%. It was 1,000,000,000% disrespectful. But in that moment, I was so focused on trying to rebuild and just trying to make something out of nothing. Like, I'm going to extreme limits.
Sorry, hold on.
You got a wedgie?
Wait, they tell me.
I'm keeping that in there. Doing things out of my characters, I did not even realize it because, you know, I was living in that moment. And I'm the type of person, I gotta live through something and then further down look back like, damn, nigga, you really was effing up.
He learns everything the hard way, and I have said that from like day 2.
You could just really see that she lost herself. She was not, and it's fine. Through motherhood, I understand this. You change, you grow, you become a different person, but also you still can lose a portion of yourself. And I felt like that's exactly what happened. And I just wanted to see her do better, and I wanted to see her be better.
I need to be better and do better, but then you didn't want me to care if you were disrespecting me in videos or online.
Once again,
and that was hard to.
In that moment, I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay, but now you realize, and
now
that's why I was.
Talk, speak it out. I want you to speak. I want you to say everything. Tell me how you feel.
I feel like if we're in a relationship and I'm going through something, then you should still be there for me.
And I was. You went to therapy, did you not? Did I not suggest you to go to therapy? Were you not in therapy and you were working on yourself and I was still doing videos, correct?
This is when girls get brought into it.
Exactly.
Because every time I was in therapy, all I was talking about is how you're disrespecting me with all these girls.
We're in a revolving door where we would walk through and it's like, hi, nigga, and then come back. And it was like the same shit every damn day. Through therapy, everything was the same. I just can see this revolving door happening over and over and over
Why aren't you saying why it was like that?
What do you mean?
You wanted me. This is what pisses me off, is that you wanted me to get better and this and this, but you were still finding yourself and doing whatever the hell you wanted to do.
And that's because there's a point when I seen that there was a revolving door and shit just kept happening over and over that I just really started not to care. And that is the God honest truth. Before that, I gave you plenty. I gave you time. The moment that I told you and I looked at you and I told you that I no longer wanted to be with you, You cried your ass off.
Who wouldn't cry their ass off?
Exactly. Of course. All right. All I know is that in December, when I told you to your face that I no longer wanted to be with you, this is far before I even had the slightest bit of contact with any female, any girl, because that's not the type of person I am. And that's not the type of person I was in a relationship. Never. Never was I like that. Was I? Was I ever like that in a relationship? Didn't I give you?
Upset now?
I'm not getting upset. I'm just stating the point. In the relationship, did I or did I not give you all of myself? Every single thing you asked for. Instagram DMs, Twitter DMs, text messages, location on, call me, don't do this, don't do that, jump how high. Did I not give you all of me in a relationship? Did I not? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And I did, because I am not the type of person, if I'm with someone and I'm committed to you and I give you my all, I'm going to give you my absolute all. I'm gonna sacrifice everything. Now, I would have been the bad guy if I would have kicked. Would this have made more sense if I just kicked you and my daughter out the door? How would I look? I would look like the asshole. I would look like the bad guy. Instead, me being in love with you and understanding all the pain, all the hurt, all the years and time that we done put through, I couldn't stand to do that. I'm not that type of nigga. I'm not ill. Even to this day, anything you ask me for, you know it's done. And you know that 1,000,000%, because I will never, ever let you go down. Never. After everything we done been through, anything you ask me for, you snap your fingers, you know it's done. And you know that, and you can't say that it's a lie.
I'm not.
You know I would jump at that opportunity every single time, because when I got somebody, I got them for life. And that's a fact. I will never let you go down. I will never let you be down. So when I came to the conclusion that I no longer wanted to be in a relationship, I couldn't just kick you out. I just couldn't kick my daughter out. I would never, ever in my life live better than my daughter. Never in my life would I be sitting in this big ass house by my damn self while my daughter is kicked out on the streets. I'm not that type of nigga. My parents didn't raise me to be that type of nigga. I will never be that type of nigga. So if that meant that I had to some way, somehow figure this shit out and make this shit work for the family's sake, then that's what the fuck I had to do. That's what I had to do. And that ultimately led to leading on and to furthermore adding more pain to the situation. What I should have did, I should have cut it off right then and there. In December, I should have looked at you and I should have told you. I should have said, this is it, this isn't working. Far before any females or anything. So I didn't have to live through the shit that I gotta live through today. Now I gotta live through the shit that Fredo cheated, that Fredo did this, Fredo did that. When in December, I told you to your face that I did not want to be with you. I told you this, and I should have, and that's my fault. And I take full responsibility that I told you, but I didn't carry it out. I should have kicked your ass out. But if I would have kicked your ass out, how would I would have looked then?
First of all, I don't like
plus,
your energy right now.
I had to have this.
Why you're being like that.
I had to because of how you started to come at me. I didn't want to bring this. I didn't want to bring this energy. The only reason why I brought this energy is the only way I can explain what the really going on. If I would have kicked you out in December, you and my daughter, if I would have kicked you out, how the fuck would I look? I could not live with myself every single day knowing that I kicked somebody out that done gave me as much as the time that I gave you, you gave me. I couldn't kick you out. I couldn't live with that pain. Watching you cry every single day, you telling me how much you want this for the family. I'm calling my mom, I'm calling my dad. They're telling me, oh, no, you gotta stay with Jasmine for the family, for the family, for the family. Okay, I ended up staying in the relationship for the family. And look what that shit got me. Look where it got me. For the family, for the family, for the family. Look where it got me. Now it got a bad character on me. Now I got motherfuckers saying, oh, Fredo cheated, Fredo did this. What? Huh?
You literally just said, in December, we had a conversation, you didn't want to be with me anymore.
I didn't, and I told you I didn't want to be with you.
Can I please talk?
Go ahead.
He had that conversation with me. But did you or did you not still continue to be with me?
And I'm gonna tell you why. All the pain that I seen you went through, all the crying, all the hurt, all the pleading.
Who would not be hurt?
Okay, but
if you were engaged in October. If you were proposed to in October, who would not be hurt?
Of course.
So let me have mine. You feel the way you feel. Let me feel the way I feel.
Okay.
Not correct?
Correct. But you're not letting me finish. I understand.
It's because I'm pissed off that you don't think that you cheated on me.
I understood that you were hurt. I had to sit there and watch somebody that I love. No matter how hard it hurt, I wanted to see you be better. I wanted to see you do better, but I knew you wasn't gonna do better with me. I knew you wouldn't. But you begged, you plead, you cried. Every single day in this household. You did that to me every single day. You made me feel like shit. You made me feel like shit because I did not want to be with you anymore. And that's the God honest truth. You begged, you plead, you cried for this family. You cried. I felt, okay. And I felt that. That's why I stayed.
So you stayed?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I'm saying that's why I stayed. But I told you I didn't want to do it. I told you I didn't want the relationship no more. I didn't want it because it wasn't working for the both of us. It wasn't working for me. It wasn't working for you. It wasn't working for the family. Shit wasn't right.
It's very confusing when you're saying that, but then we're still living under the same roof.
Because I couldn't kick you.
Like we're in a relationship.
I couldn't kick you out. I couldn't kick you out. You made me feel like shit. You made me feel like a bad shit. Because I didn't want to be with you?
Yes.
What the f? If I want to see you, if I want to see you do better, if I want to see you do better, I don't give a f. I don't give a f.
How? That doesn't even make sense to me. All of a sudden, you don't want to be with me.
Listen, if I felt betrayed, as in, I felt like you gave up on me. I felt like you completely gave up on me. You completely gave up on the family. I no longer wanted you. I no longer wanted to be with you. I didn't feel that. Why the f am I gonna be with you? Why? If you stopped caring for the family that you didn't want to provide no more.
Providing, I didn't care.
Providing. You're an amazing mother. You're an amazing mother, and I'm not saying that. You know I'm not saying that. Every single day, I had to watch you in front of my eyes, hurt, cry, and beg and plead to be with me. If it was easy just to leave you and leave the relationship, I would have did so. But it wasn't that easy because we were underneath the same roof. If we weren't underneath the same roof and didn't have a daughter, to be honest, it would have been a lot different. Because it would have been a lot easier just to put things to a side and work on our differences, work on our own happiness, and then come together. But because we couldn't do this and I couldn't kick you out, we were underneath the same household. Now, I'm not going to sit there and watch you every single day be miserable. I'm not going to. I'm not going to, and that's my fault. I take full responsibility, and I'm trying to say this on camera. I take full responsibility, and I'm sorry. I apologize. I was wrong for not completely cutting it off. That was my fault. But also, it's your responsibility as well. Because you knew that I no longer wanted to be in a relationship, but you made me feel like shit. You made me feel terrible because I didn't want to be with you no more. You made me feel horrible. And I got my mom and my dad telling me, oh, stay with her for the baby, do this for the baby. So I'm trying to make it work. I got my sister I got everybody telling me, make it work for the baby. Make it work for the baby. And ultimately, look where that led me. And throughout that process, shit just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And then it got to a point where I did not give a fuck.
But some days you wouldn't give a fuck. And some days you would.
And it was, and I agree.
And it was the most confusing thing for me to deal with.
And I agree. And it's all a part of us being underneath this damn household. We couldn't get away from each other.
If Ava was not a part of the picture, then I would have been left.
Things would have been different.
It would have been so different.
It would have been different.
But I felt like I was fighting because I didn't want Ava to grow up with us separated because we never had our parents together. And that's why I was fighting. That's why I was fighting. So act like it was just for me. It was for Ava.
And that's why I was fighting as well. Because I grew up without a family. You grew up without a family. I didn't want to see that either. But a part of me still seen you suffer. I don't think you understand that. I had to watch somebody that I love be a completely different person. Like I had to,
and you turned into a completely different person.
I know that.
Too.
It turned me into a completely different person. But I watched somebody that I love was not happy. And that was eating me alive each and every single day. Regardless for our family or for our daughter or not, it was hurting me as well. I was hurting to see that shit. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And our relationship just got worse. And it got to the point where I just didn't give a fuck. I didn't tell you. I would tell you straight to your face that I did not care. I would say it. I didn't care. I became a demon. I became a terrible person. I did not care. And I would tell it to her face, I don't give a fuck. I would say that.
You would say that, and it was like we would have an argument, and then you would say that, and all hell would break loose. And then the next day or 2 days later, we just would want to be a family again. It wasn't fair.
It was honestly hard because of this household. Because from the start, if we were able to find some type of way where we could have separated, she could have got an apartment or something like that. Like, in all honesty, I wasn't ready for that. Too. I wasn't ready to see to not have my daughter every single day. I wasn't ready to not be a family. I wasn't ready for that, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry because I loved you that much. I didn't want to see that shit happen. I ain't never want to get to this point. You think I wanted to be here? You think I wanted to wake up and not have my daughter by my side? You think I wanted that shit? I didn't want that shit.
I just felt like you should have
I didn't want that shit. I didn't want that shit.
Stuck through.
And I tried. I felt like I tried everything I could.
I feel like you were just like, fuck you, and then it just went about being whoever the hell you turned into.
I felt like I gave you plenty of time and opportunities. That's just how I feel. You got to understand, like, I lived this shit. I felt this shit in real time.
But there's a lot that you didn't understand until yesterday.
And there's a lot that you didn't understand either.
But I still feel like what you did was not okay. And how I feel.
I'm not just
saying how I feel. I don't feel like the words that what I've called you, I feel like that's how I feel. I do feel betrayed. I do feel like you stepped out on our relationship, and I felt like you did something that was unforgivable. And how are we supposed to go back to that? I can get better and go back and work and want to do YouTube videos, but how do we go back from a personal betrayal where you're living all these different lives? How do we go back from that?
And I felt betrayed because I sacrificed damn near everything in my life to make you happy. For you. Ultimately for you. I sacrificed everything to make you happy. I put a ring on your finger to make us happy, to show you. I felt like when I put that ring on your finger, I didn't do it for fucking social media. I didn't did it for the video. I didn't do it for anything. I did it to show you that I was fully invested in this relationship and that I was willing to sacrifice it all. I'm showing you the lengths that I'm willing to go. And then I felt betrayed once you turned on the family. You no longer wanted to provide for the family. It felt like a slap in the... You don't understand how that feels for me. My career, my YouTube, you know how much that means to me. For me to put my shit on hold for our family, and then all of a sudden, you don't want to put the same energy back into the relationship? That felt like betrayal to me. And at that point, once I realized that, that's when I told you I no longer wanted to be with you. Because I felt betrayed. I felt like you failed me. You failed me. And then after all of this shit, furthermore, you're attacking my character. You're making me seem to be like something that I'm not. In this relationship, I gave you everything. I gave you everything. Everything. I gave you all of me. No, I gave you all of me. And then I got motherfuckers in here telling me, oh, you ain't treat Jasmine right. That's a motherfucking lie. And God knows that's a motherfucking lie. Everybody around me know that's a motherfucking lie. My dad, my mom, Malik, everybody know that that is a lie. I want to take full responsibility for my actions in a relationship. After I told Jasmine that I no longer wanted to be with her, I watched her cry, I watched her plead, I watched her beg for the family. I couldn't stand to watch her sit there and suffer in pain. Also, I didn't want to break up my family as well. I let Jasmine on. I was completely wrong for doing so. I was wrong. Although I said it, I should have ended it right then and there. And because I didn't, I am 1,000,000% wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong because that ultimately just put her through more hurt, more pain, and more suffering. All right? I should have been a bigger man and I should have just ended shit. I should have ended it. And I tried. And I tried my hardest, but I couldn't. Although I didn't want to be with you, I didn't want to see the family break up. For my daughter's sake, for my sake, for your sake, we had such an amazing bond for 6 years that that was not something I was willing to let go overnight, but I knew what needed to be done. I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch my family break. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I kept going on. So we kept moving on. And I was doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. I take full responsibility for my actions. But also what I did not appreciate is that after the breakup, after everything was put out, then I got painted as this cheater, as this bad guy, this guy that didn't treat you well. You know that that's a lie. Everyone around us know that that's a lie. Everyone around us know that I sacrificed and I did everything I could to make Jasmine happy at all fucking times. You were my #1 priority. You knew this. The family had always been my #1 priority. My family always come first. Everything I do is for my family. So why the would I intentionally and maliciously want to hurt you?
You didn't mean to intentionally.
I didn't mean to.
But you did.
And I know I did, but you gotta understand that I tried to walk away. I tried to. You did not allow me to, and a part of me didn't want to as well. And that's bottom line what it was. The world is looking at me as a monster. I'm painted as this evil nigga that didn't give a fuck about your feelings, and that's a goddamn lie.
But didn't last night you...
That's a lie. Because...
Why are you getting upset again?
I can't control my emotions. When I had to deal with the past 2 months, I got to deal with my looking at me like I'm a monster. When that's not the case. Through pregnancy, through everything, I held your hand. Day in and day out. You had a whole entire year to be with your daughter every day. You know how many females would die for that? But I worked my ass off so you can have that. I worked my ass off so my daughter can have that. No, I was not there every day for my daughter. No, I was not hands-on every day for my daughter, but I worked for that fucking opportunity. I worked for that. I worked for that, and now I feel like you stabbing me in the back. You making me feel bad. You making me feel bad for doing that, for providing. Motherfuckers wish they can do that. Niggas get 60-day notice and they gotta go back to work the next day. You sat on your ass every day with our daughter. I wish we could have changed roles. I already didn't have a good relationship with Ava because of the YouTube shit, because of where my focus was.
And now you have a better one.
And now I do. Now I do because of the breakup. Because it forced me. Because it forced me to be a better father. And now, me and Ava, we have an amazing relationship. But before, when we were in a relationship, you don't understand that sacrifice. I had to sacrifice that time so you can have that time. I had to do that. I had to do that. I had to put in that work, them effort into them video. I had to do that. So that you can have that time. I'm just tired of being painted as a bad person. I'm tired of it.
You are a bad person. You made wrong, bad decisions. You aren't a bad person. I tell you that all the time. You're not a bad person.
And you're making it seem like I'm maliciously, just out of the blue, cheated on you and shit just like, what? No, we've been had problems.
I feel like if we were still acting as if we were in a relationship, and I still felt like we were in a relationship, why are you doing what you're doing then?
It was not good.
It wasn't good, but
it was not good. Let's not pretend. I'm tired of you pretending, Jasmine. Shit was not good.
Nothing was good, but
it was not good.
But we were still loving each other like we were in a relationship.
Was not good. It was not.
Still loving each other.
It was not good at all.
Okay, so it was never good.
Don't start that. It was not good at all.
Okay, it was never good.
We had a lot of terrible nights. A lot. We had a lot of horrible nights. Nike said, I would tell you I don't give a f about the relationship. I told you to your face, the relationship was not a priority to me. I told you this to your face multiple times before any girl, before.
That's not true.
So before, did I not say that?
We're done.
We're done. Couldn't finish the video with Jasmine just because Jasmine, she just doesn't want to take accountability and responsibility that, you know, she played a part in the relationship as well. It's not just all my fault. And also, I have yet to talk down on her name. I have yet to talk down on her image or make her seem like a bad person, because I don't want to do that. I don't care to do that. All I care is to clear my image and clear my name, because I am not a bad person, and I don't want to be set out to seem like the bad person. I don't want to be seen as a bad guy when I'm not. When I tried everything that I possibly could with her, but it just didn't work. So anyways, I have my dad here, and this is just another perspective on the relationship. You know, my dad, he's a good person. He's not gonna sit here and lie. If I'm wrong, he's gonna tell me where I'm wrong. You know, he's just gonna say exactly what the situation is and what it was like to see it in real time, in real life, and really be a part of it. All right, so I also have my mom off to the side. You know, this is my parents' perspective. They're not biased, once again, on me and, you know, my life. If I'm wrong, they're gonna tell me I'm wrong. And I'm not afraid to be wrong. I hope that everyone understands that. I'm not afraid to be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll take responsibility, and I just want Jasmine to take responsibility on her end and understand that it's a 50-50 thing. A relationship is just not one way. So I got my dad here and I got my mom, she's over here. So y'all just go ahead.
Harold didn't always do the right thing, but he's such a wonderful person. I mean, he's got such a kind heart. He took good care of Jasmine. He always made sure she had everything she wanted. Fredo took care of Jasmine for everything. He loved her to death. And then as things got on, they didn't seem to show the love or she didn't show the love that he needed. And I know Fredo called me up and said, I don't feel loved. I don't feel loved at all. And that's where things were going wrong. And I said to him, you're going to have to try to work it out. Try to work it out for Ava's sake. Well, obviously he wasn't doing very well. And so Fredo really already told her, he told me. In December, Fredo told me he doesn't want to be with her anymore. And it's got to end. And she stayed because really it was hard for her to figure out where she's going to go. And he stayed too. Jasmine knew that. Jasmine knew that it was not going well. And all these things that are happening now, she gets angry, and I understand that because, you know, she's a female. But he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything to maliciously hurt her. He didn't want to hurt her. But they had to stay under the same roof, you know, and that was hard. And he never cheated on her. And that girl that's taking all this, that one girl, she's a sweetheart. She didn't have anything to do with it. Nothing whatsoever. Fredo already knew he wasn't going to be with Jasmine. I said to him, you got to let her go. And he did let her go. But she didn't want to go. So what are you going to do? And she wasn't always perfect, but none of us are perfect. But I can tell you one thing. She certainly didn't treat Ron and I as good as she should have. There were times that he told us to come by. He may not have told her that we were coming, but that's besides the point. She said when we got here, and then Grandma was here too, she said, what are you doing here? Well, that's very hurtful to somebody. And when the baby
my parents treated her like
yes, I loved her.
A daughter. Like literally, her mom did not give a fuck about her. And I will say that, and I will say that to your face. And that's right, my grandma back there clapping. Her mama didn't give a goddamn fuck about her. My parents, this hurts me. My parents took her in like a fucking kid, like her own damn, like their own damn child, and treated her like one of their own.
I loved her.
And she did not appreciate that shit.
She didn't.
She treated my parents like shit. And that was just something else that added to our already messed up relationship.
I seen Fredo sacrifice everything just to please Jasmine. She wasn't happy. Whatever Fredo did for her, she just didn't seem to be happy anymore. A lot of girls her age wish they would be in the position she was in. I mean, that girl had anything.
If she wanted something Jasmine asked for, was done.
Yeah. If she wanted something, done. She go to the store and buy it. No questions asked.
Not only just the materialistic things, but also in a relationship. Me sacrificing everything that I love and want to do just to make her happy. I did that as well. It wasn't just materialistic. It was on all in.
It's sad to see her talk bad about him when he did so much for her throughout their relationship to take somebody and talk terrible to her.
Sometimes things just don't work out. You know, it doesn't mean Fredo's bad or Jasmine's bad. How many people are in relationships and it doesn't work out? It just didn't work out. Doesn't mean they don't still love each other, but they can't. How many people get divorced? They're not even, weren't even married. But Fredo needs to have his peace. He was not at peace. When he called me up, he was so sad, and it just broke my heart. And it broke my heart for her too, because I know how a woman feels. So I think it was all for the best. They can be a happy couple without being together, take care of Ava. She's what's important. This is what I worried about, was that little girl. But Fredo's a wonderful father. I can't believe, and I always knew he would be, but he is wonderful. He'll give anything to that little girl.
Anything. I'll do anything for my daughter.
He's still taking care of Jasmine.
And I'm still, to this day, Jasmine texted me, I just spent $400, $500 on, okay, cool, sent. Can I go get a massage? She just sent me this shit the other day. Can I go get a massage? Done. I will never leave Jasmine down in the dirt. I'll never talk down to her character, but I don't respect her doing that to me. She got my sister, she got her brother, she got all these people, and I didn't say shit. I sat there and I watched this shit happen right in front of my face. And I had to sit here and be the bad guy. Meanwhile, the people around me, they know what's up. They know what I've been told my parents in December that I did not want to be with her.
Oh yes, he told me too.
And they begged me, they say, Fredo, for Ava. And that's where I messed up. And I'm just trying to have clarity to that's where I messed up. Anything else y'all want to say?
No, I just said, it breaks my heart that she's doing this to Fredo. It broke my heart many times that she just didn't seem to love me. And I always told her how much I loved her. But Jasmine has her issues.
She do too. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Jasmine's not perfect. You know, and my parents are not here. They love Jasmine. They care for her. But bottom line, everyone has to take responsibilities for their actions. I have to take responsibility for my action and the role that I played in this relationship, and Jasmine must as well. I don't know when this will happen. I tried my hardest to do this with Jasmine. I will continue to keep my focus on Ava and how I can be a better father for Ava. And that's just not gonna change. But I hope that this brought you guys some type of clarity. I hope one day that me and Jasmine, we can come together and take accountability and responsibility for both the responsibilities that we had in a relationship. I love you guys, and I'm hoping that one day we can make this work. I'm out.